Greetings, viewers, NYC Resistance. So once again, I decided to break the unofficial curfew here in New York City. And as I'm driving down the street, I came across two NYPD prostitutes. One was arguing with her daddy that came by to see how the extortion was going. So she started yelling at him and saying, look, daddy, I'm trying to extort these people the best I can, but nobody's coming outside anymore. These uniforms ain't fooling nobody no more because everybody's watching NYC Resistance's YouTube channel. And he's like, look, don't let me have to raise up out my car and smack the crap out of you. I want that notepad full. How am I supposed to look good to my superiors if you ain't writing enough tickets? Listen, I want that court line wrapped around the corner tomorrow, so all y'all gotta pick up the pace and write them tickets. And she's like, come on, daddy, it's freezing out here. I've been on my feet all night. I've only wrote three tickets, two for jaywalking and one for spitting. Come on, daddy, I'm trying to extort these people the best I can. Come on, you gotta give me some more time. I'm doing the best I can out here. People are scared of us. These uniforms ain't fooling anybody anymore. He's like, listen, man, I don't want to hear all that, man. I don't care if you got to knock on people's doors and drag them out their house. I want that notepad full by the time I come back around this corner. So come on, pick up the pace, man. Let's go. And she's like, all right, daddy, come back in 2 hours and I'll see what I got for you. I'm doing my best. It's freezing out here. All right, so she buys herself a little time as he drives off to go check on other prostitutes he has stationed on other corners. So I drive a little further. I come across two more NYPD prostitutes, and they're there trying to figure out how they're gonna meet the, fill their notepad up before the pimp comes back around the block, to check their notepad. So he's like, let's try that block, and then we're gonna move over to that block, and then sweep over to that side. That should be good for at least 10 tickets before daddy comes back around the corner. We don't want him coming out the squad car and slapping us up, So he's there pondering and a little worried, that he might not meet his ticket quota by the time the daddy comes back around, as the other one nervously smokes his cigarette. So you gotta understand that extorting poor people out of money is, it wreaks havoc on the nerves. So you're gonna find more and more police officers or NYPD prostitutes smoking on duty. They realize that more and more people see them as the demons that they are, as nothing more than racist, extortionist trash from outside neighborhoods that come to extort hardworking people out of their money and make people's lives hard under the guise of keeping people safe. So this cop, he's under a lot of pressure. He's gonna take a cigarette, take a drag, and then throw it on the ground. To many of us that'd be a littering ticket, but to the NYPD, they do whatever they want. So after a few more minutes of watching these extortionist prostitutes, I couldn't take it anymore. I started getting nauseous and sick, so I had to drive off. And then I came across two more NYPD cops. But I got a different type of vibe from these cops, especially when a little boy rode up on his scooter and started talking to them. The cops were smiling at the little boy and, making him feel like a human being. And I could swear I overheard the little boy say, wow, officers, you're so nice and you're treating me good. You're everything I thought a cop would be. Why aren't you like the ones that are down the block extorting everybody as they pull up to a red light? And then the cop replied, she said, we're not all the same. Some of us understand that we're here to protect the community. We're here to keep people safe. We're not here to extort people and write people tickets. Sure, I'm going to get penalized for not filling up my notepad, but I don't care. When I joined the NYPD, I joined to keep people safe and protect the innocent, not to write poor people tickets. And the little kid, he bent his head down, and I could swear I saw a little tear fall from his eye and hit the ground and turn into a butterfly and fly off. So I wanted to find out what he was talking about when he said that there was a bunch of cops, writing people tickets as they stopped at a red light. So I went down the block, and sure enough, it was just total bedlam down the block. Cops were running down the street, chasing cars down as they stopped at a red light, trying to write them tickets and laughing. It was like a scene right out of hell. So as you can see, they just stopped the victim. They found somebody to extort. One of the cops is looking at the license plate, see if one of the bulbs is blown so he could write a ticket for that. These cops are looking for absolutely any reason to destroy this man's life. Take away his entire day's pay. He's probably been working a 16-hour shift, just to pay for that, just to pay for his car, pay for his rent, feed his family. But these NYPD cops, they got quotas to meet. They got a pimp to pay. And that's all they're concerned about, is keeping that notepad filled. So, when their daddy comes by, they could say, look here, daddy, I wrote a bunch of tickets. Are you pleased with me? Can I get a squad car just like you? That's all they're concerned about. They're not here to keep anybody safe or protect anybody. These cops, they're just jumping from car to car like fleas, looking for a little violation so they could write a ticket and fill their notepads and meet their quotas. They're not here to protect anybody. They're not here to assist anybody. They're not here to save anybody. They're simply here to write tickets. That's the sum of an officer's career. How many tickets he's written, and how many arrests he's made. Not how many lives he's saved or how many people he helped out. You know what I mean? These are roving, extortionist prostitutes. Especially when they're rookies. They'll do anything to get a squad car and get off the beat. You know what I mean? Get off their feet. You see? So you have a cab driver. I mean, these cab drivers here in New York City, their insurance is upwards of $700 a month. So they have to work a whole week just to pay the insurance alone. Not to mention weekly base fee, which is probably $80 a week. And then every 4 months, they have to get inspection. So these cab drivers here in New York City, they have to work really hard just to pay the fees and expenses and permits just to ferry people around the city. You see? So, I mean, for these NYPD cops to be targeting cab drivers, I mean, who are justified in being out this late. You know what I mean? I know I'm breaking my curfew. I should be in bed sleeping. But, you know, I'm guilty as charged. I'm out here and I'm not driving taxi like these hardworking men. You know I should be punished. You know, but still, this is wrong. You know, and every night you watch the nightly news and you got to hear about crime, this is where the crime is coming from. Because if this man can't pay his base fee and his taxi insurance, then what happens? Now he becomes unemployed. Now he becomes desperate to feed his family and keep a roof over their head. Now what does he do? Does he take his entire family and go sleep in a park? Or does he do something that he wouldn't normally do? This is rampant extortion. These tickets are enormous. The cost of these tickets are crazy. You know what I mean? Mayor Bloomberg, when he became mayor in 2001, 2002, he was only worth $5 billion. When he left office in 2014, he's worth $27 billion. When he told you that, you know, he was gonna work for $1 a year. How the hell did he make $22 billion? You see the pimp driving by right there, making sure that they're working the neighborhood real hard, extorting everybody out of money. Wow, I mean, this is a big con game, folks. I mean, you have to see this for what it is. You got 4 men here not concerned with walking, spanning out in the neighborhood to see if there's real crime happening. They're only interested in writing tickets. It is what it is. I'm not making up something that isn't there. You're seeing it with your own eyes. Why are there 4 men concentrating on one taxi cab driver, you know, that hasn't done anything? I mean, he hasn't robbed a bank. I mean, there's no victim here. They just simply stopped car after car after car looking for a violation. You seen one of the cops look at the license plate bulb. You know what I mean? See if he could write a ticket for that. I mean, you have cops from outside areas literally feeding on the community. You know what I mean? I had to put the night vision on because these creatures like dark places. You know what I mean? I don't care how dark it is or how small the crevice is. They like to hide in there and feed on people. You know, so I got to use the night vision. You know, because to capture these creatures in their natural habitat. But I mean, you could see them smiling and they're happy. I mean, this is your tax dollars hard at work. I mean, you should all be upset with this. This is why when you watch the news, people are able to climb the new World Trade Center and either stand up on the railing and take pictures of themselves or just skydive off and just base jump right off of it, because all the cops are busy generating revenue, you know, for the pimp NYPD police department and the corrupt criminal justice system. You know what I mean? That's why they all drive luxury cars and, you know, and nervously smoke cigarettes while on duty. You know what I mean? Because they're a pack of criminals that think that you won't see them as they are once they put that uniform on. These are a pack of criminals that don't care about anybody but themselves. You know, paying for their luxury cars and paying for their big houses. You know what I mean? And their weekly prostitute. That's all they care about. These are hardworking people, man, just getting extorted out of, I mean, literally the shirt off their back is being taken off of them for any little reason by a bunch of freaking thugs in uniform. That's why I got no respect for these people, man. This is all about race. You don't see this type of extortion happening in no other neighborhood. None. But the poorest neighborhoods. Anywhere where you find black people and Latino people, you find a bunch of cops. Anywhere you find a lot of cops, you find the most crime because the people are being extorted. Look at him looking for another person. This poor guy pulled up behind the first victim. You know, he might get extorted too out of his whole day's pay. You know, you work a whole goddamn day. It's a Saturday night. These cab drivers probably been working all freaking day. You know what I mean? Because it's a Saturday night. That's where you make your money on the weekend. And lo and behold, you pull up to a red light, obeying the traffic laws by stopping at the light, and bang, You get a high intensity flashlight in your face. Let me see your papers. Let me see this and let me see that. They walk over to the side, get their notepad out, and start writing you tickets to meet their quotas. You know what I mean? Because that's what the NYPD calls productivity. You know what I mean? This is the sum of an officer's career. How many tickets he's wrote. How many arrests he's made. Not how many people he saved or helped. You know what I mean? Just how much money he's made for the system. I mean, this is pure corruption and pure wickedness. And then these people turn around and look at black people like trash after they themselves destroyed you. You see what I'm saying? This is all money they're taking. Every time they give somebody a ticket, they extract the money out your pocket. You have to see it as that. You have to see it as robbery. You know what I mean? The concept of policing was to keep people safe. People that couldn't protect themselves. People who were helpless. Who needed help. Now you got a bunch of cops extorting you and laughing. They're like, ha ha ha. These people think we're actually here to keep them safe. Ha ha ha. I mean, hiding in the darkness and laughing at you as they take the money out your community and turn people into criminals. Make people so desperate that they make decisions that they wouldn't normally make and choices that they wouldn't normally make. You know what I mean? Why aren't we entitled to our money? Why? You know what I mean? On record, the Bronx, I'm in the Bronx right now. The Bronx has the highest rate of unemployment. So why the hell would you be having these rampant ticket writing? Why would you be pressuring these cops to write all these tickets? I mean, and you see the pimp coming by to make sure they're writing the tickets. I've shown it to you over and over again. It's no isolated incident. I've showed it to you countless times. You see what I'm saying? This guy's getting a ticket while all the rest of the cops stand around. They all getting paid. Come on, like we're paying these people salary to take our salary. Does that make sense? Huh? I mean, that's counterproductive. You're paying somebody to freaking rob you. I mean, we really have to evaluate the society that we're living in, folks. I mean, especially black people, man. We're the ones that's getting the worst. I don't care what anybody says. Y'all can leave all your comments about let's come together, let's unite. Like all the name calling. I don't care. This is not happening in your neighborhood. You would not stand for it for a heartbeat. For one moment, you would not stand for what you're seeing right now. But you want black people to sit down and relax and be robbed of their freaking money that they worked hard for. And then when you have black people and Latino people standing on welfare lines, you want to call them lazy and call them leeches and call them getting over on the system. Huh? What about when they're standing on the court line handing their money over to the courts? That don't count, right? But when people sue, when people get their rights violated, you say, we got a court windfall. Like it's a business, it's a living we're making off of it. But y'all got no problem taking our money. I mean, this is real sickening, man. I mean, people really have to. Y'all gotta understand that this is where the crime is coming from. It's not just taxi cab drivers. It's people that own restaurants. The fines are crazy. They shut down restaurants with fines. They go into stores and I mean little bodegas. They give them tickets until they can't afford to keep the bodega open. I mean, it's like. I mean, you don't see them going into Walmart or Target or anything like that and looking for fines and penalties in there. And the big corporate-owned franchises, but the little mom-and-pop stores, they shut it down. Cab driver has his own business. Nah, you're going to get shut down. We're going to make it impossible for you to continue feeding your family. You see? Look, he's getting a ticket right now. He has to show up in criminal court and be told how much he has to pay for forgiveness. It's all about money. I mean, if we were to take the money out of fighting crime and this and that, come on, all this would stop. All the arrests would stop. All the harassment would stop. But this is about the money. These people are criminals. These people are greedy, heartless, extortionists. Okay? These people deserve no respect. And it has everything to do with race. Okay? Up the block, you had two minority cops. They weren't doing this. Down the block, you got 4 Caucasian cops chasing taxi cabs through the street, handing out exorbitant tickets. Tickets with exorbitant fees. $200-$300 for what? It's crazy. And then they just walk off into the night like they're heroes. Like they did a good job. Tell their family thinks they're risking their lives. They not doing shit but destroying people's lives. Y'all take care.